Hello everyone and welcome back to Satisfactory. We got yet another big episode today, and actually for once it's not as big. Now, first of all, today our main goal is going to be to complete the SAM fluctuators and once and for all have everything other than the superposition oscillators completed for this alien power matrix project, which is a basically full-time job. We might also tackle on the leftover residue of whatever it is, dark matter residue. But before we get into any of that, I want to touch back on something I said last episode, which is that I said that this episode I would showcase everything you had missed in the episode that I did completely with my mic being broken and therefore can't upload. So let's get into that right now. First things first. The bulk of that episode, and I very much mean like 90% of it, was this. All of these belts you see back here. Because basically that entire episode was... Oops, that's the wrong one. This one isn't doing it. Does this one do it? Nope. Basically the gist of it is that entire episode was doing the diamonds. With all the coal and all the limestone. And it was very much exactly that. You're not missing much. It's just a whole lot of this. There was basically zero way to organize this amount of belts with this little space. This is an exterior wall, obviously, and then at most you get these pillars, but what is that going to do? And it's just literally this for the entirety of the particle accelerators that were left over. Comes out as diamonds. If I recall, it goes either that direction or this direction. And that is that. It goes straight into these... what even are these called? I don't remember. Quantum encoders. I'm pretty sure it goes straight into here, if I recall. Yeah, oh right, no. It gets turned into time crystals, then goes straight into here. And that was the power shortage done with. That is like 90% of what you missed. The rest was just obviously stuff like the residues. Which are, I don't know where anymore. We need to clear that residue now. That's something we need. We need particle accelerators for that, though. And I think I have a place for them, just I don't know how many we need. So if it takes too many, we might be screwed. But we'll get into all of that later in this episode. For now, I want to get back into real time and what we have to do. Now, conveniently, this episode's going to be a bit easier on me. Because when I thought I didn't do this at all, I already did all these constructors that we're going to be needing today to get the wire and the steel pipes that we're going to need. I thought I didn't do this because I never recorded myself doing this, but apparently I did this at some point, so it's already done and ready to go and belted, and it's all good. So, all we should need to do today, if you look over at the to-do list, is collect 675 steel per minute and 375 copper per minute. I think that's fairly manageable. Considering the episodes in this game we've been doing recently, that is a cakewalk. So, I guess let's start with the copper. Let's then go on to the steel because we can reuse a lot of that coal we got from that 20,000 coal episode, since there's a bit left over. And the copper, I mean, I'm sure there's copper around somewhere. Yeah, right here. Normal node, that's 600. Yeah, that's enough. See? Easy as that. So yeah, let's get into it. I think I'm just going to get the miners, and I'll come back to you when we're ready to start actually putting down machines to make something out of this stuff. Alright, so I brought the copper up here, and more specifically, it's right here. It's a bit closer to the wall than I would have liked, but you know, it is what it is. So I guess let's just get this started. I mean, I already put down the smelters. Because I want to power them, because plugging in a bunch of machines is very annoying. Obviously, still doing manifolds, because that's just simply the easiest way to do big automation like this. There comes a point where doing, like, actually calculated things, even if you want to be insistent on it, at some point you will soft lock yourself. Like, you will not be able to keep going if you keep load balancing everything. Like, it's doable, but you will not enjoy the game in the slightest if you load balance. That is a tip from me as someone that has played this game a lot. I do want to do more load balancing. Like, at some point I would like to start over and do some, like, completely overkill load balancers, but that wouldn't be for serious stuff. That would just be for fun and for me to challenge myself to make better splitters and mergers and like advanced splitters and mergers that do like down to decimal values and stuff. Because I haven't done that in like ages, and I think it would be fun to do again. But that's not something I recommend doing for like the entire game, or like insist on, especially not as a new player, or even like an intermediate player. I mean, like, the only thing that I recommend doing, unless you play this game for like 1,000 hours, is like at most the 45 split for concrete. If you can do that, you can probably do most of the other ones given enough time. But I don't recommend doing them, so yeah. So there you go, this should just go in and fix itself. Yep, bunch of copper, good. Where do I need it? I need this a floor higher, right? And I can't go up because of this. Okay, this is going to be annoying. Okay, ran it through the ceiling. Now, which is which? Is this? Okay, this is steel, which is annoying. So it goes here. There you go. This should work. Yep, I see the lights turning green, so it is. Yep, and there you go, we get wire. Okay, well there's the wire done with. You know what, let's remove it now. Boom, one thing less to do. Now just for the steel. We have the coal, we need to get iron though, and I think there's only 600 nearby, so I'm going to have to figure that out somehow. There's 600 iron here, and then the next closest iron is here. You know what, I can make that work. I'm going to put the production like way down in the base and belt it up. I think that's how I'm going to do this. Unfortunately, I'm having to get creative with this because I'm realizing this floor, I never made the roof floor. So I never made like a belt layer for this floor because I didn't originally have a purpose for this floor. I'm going to do a half job, which is that I'm just going to simply do it wherever I need to get belts through for now, and I'll come back later. But this is a big deal because it means that if I ever come through to do lights, I'm going to have to completely finish it no matter what. And as you can see, it does get pretty dark in here. But doing lights takes hours. I mean, it's probably a good 30, 40-hour job per floor to put billboard, like ceiling lighting across this big of an area. And there's multiple floors that need it. Now, I can probably make a blueprint, which I will most likely try and do if I get any serious about lighting up this entire building. Because it is a full-time job, basically, in and of itself. Okay, now it should be fairly smooth sailing. I just need to run a bunch of belts, which are very long and very annoying. But that's just part of this game, so let's get it done. Let's stop complaining and just get to finishing this so we can celebrate for once. Alright, here's the iron. It's a bit stuck in this pillar. I might have to clean this up a little bit. This area down here is not pretty. This is where the hub used to be, actually, in case you missed this area. This is where the hub used to be at the very beginning of things. It's still basically the same. I mean, I haven't torn anything down. I did come back a while ago and obviously upgrade all these belts and just do a couple things, but for the most part it is still the same. I have not really touched this area. It has just stayed the same. This entire below area actually is mostly just a storage for just crap that doesn't need to be seen, or is just here for function. For example, here's just the pipes that make the conversion room function. You can see they're just down here, and they supply it, which is right about here. Yeah, just a lot of basically maintenance stuff, and just stuff that doesn't really need to be on display. I don't really show this area much because it doesn't really need to be shown. It's not intended to be shown. It's not really supposed to be all that clean. It is intended to be purely functional. After all, of course, I did the rookie mistake of hooking up raw ore straight into the thing. I did not think I connected this on this end, but no, apparently I did, and I screwed it up like a dummy, so that's always lovely. And these are constructors too, so I don't think there's any way for me to delete this the easy way. So, just gonna have to remove the belts and basically do it the hard way. The best tip I have for you if you accidentally do this is just keep deleting the last belt over and over. This will clear out all of the udder splitters. And then all you have to do is change the udder belts once. It's annoying, but you know, mistakes do happen. I could just revert to save, but at this size with 18 machines, I guess I'll just do it manually. At this kind of a size, it's not all that worth it. Although alternatively, I could do it this way too, where I just send this straight into storage. However, if you're tight with machines, you know, just do it the belt way. It takes a bit of time, and it sucks, but it is what it is. Okay, there you go. Should be all cleaned up. You know, we all make mistakes. Even I still make mistakes. I mean, I don't make them nearly as often, but, you know, they do happen still. And obviously, you just kind of have to adapt and learn how to fix them sometimes. Also, the wire is still going. Surprisingly, hasn't fully backlogged yet, but I guess it's only 300 items per minute. But it's getting there, it's on its way. Let's get this steel done with. I think I'm just going to put the foundries right here, because I don't have any other use for this space yet. Actually, how many of these am I going to need? I want steel. 45 each, that's 675. Divided by 45. 15. I mean, the solution to higher up belts might genuinely be to just have throwaway drones at this rate. Like, genuinely. Like drones that go to the roof of the base and then just belt stuff down instead of up. Which probably is actually going to be an idea. Because these drones here are not... Like, I've barely used any of them. And a purpose might genuinely be to just bring stuff, like, from the bottom of the base to the top of it, instead of just belting everything up. Because it's becoming quite difficult to belt things up, so belting things down might unironically be easier at this rate. Alright, coal should be hooked up, iron should be hooked up, this should be producing. Yes it is! Boom! Now all we need is a couple mergers and we're golden. Just need to merge all of this and then hook it up. And it's basically going to be the final stretch. All we'll have to do is bring in the... what even was it? Bring in the wire and steel pipe all the way down to the manufacturers that make these SAM fluctuators, and we'll have ourselves a bunch of fluctuators and 3 out of the 4 phases of the Alien Power Matrix project complete. There you go. That should be everything. This is going to start producing with steel. Got steel pipes in the wire, and it just needs to go down 1 floor. Alright, this is it. There is the, I think, I actually have no idea which one. There's the wire, there you go. And here's the steel pipe. So these should start producing. Yep, there it is. SAM fluctuators. I don't even remember how many per minute, but it'll be in the title and maybe thumbnail if I get adventurous. So there you have it. And they should start going down the belt and going into the stupid, I always forget the name of, quantum encoders. I genuinely think it's never gonna stay in my head that these are called quantum encoders. I can remember like most of the other stuff, like the converter I can get once I see it. But the quantum encoder, just can't remember it for crap. It's like incredible how badly I am at remembering things now compared to how I used to be. But there you have it. 3 of the 4 things complete. And on top of that, we have all of these power shards now. We already had a lot before, but now we have literally an infinite supply pretty much. However, this isn't quite done yet. Although technically this episode is done, I do want to take a dabble into trying to see how difficult it'll be to drain this, and maybe even drain all this residue. Alright, I completely forgot about this. We have straight pipes now. That wasn't the thing. I mean, I haven't needed to use it at all yet, but yeah, it is a thing I completely forgot about. That's one of the things that was added with 1.1. Well, it happened. I wasn't recording when it happened, But it happened. The game randomly crashed as soon as I put down a pipe, and this game does not usually crash, so I read the log. We did it. We hit the UObject limit. I didn't expect it to end like this, but this is how it's ending. Now, I probably have the tools to increase that UObject limit, so the series will probably continue. But for now, this is how it ends. Crazy.